Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to serve anyone who's looking to level up their life from the current situation. This show right here is dedicated to helping raising the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts out there, those who want more out of life, those who want to be more, those who want to do more, those who love the thrill, joy, and connection of what high performance engines bring into our lives. Because holding wide open is what we do. And being a great freaking person is who we are. And living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the engine that drives us forward and why we want to have a highly optimized, well-oiled running machine that's working in our favor. Like, think about it. Have you ever tried making some high horsepower with like some 87 octane gasoline? Like, and even let's tone that back. Like, forget about even making high horsepower. What about like, have you ever driven like a sports car or like a vehicle that is intended to perform high level, and you open the gas tank, the gas cap up, and it says premium fuel only? Do you know the reason why it says premium fuel only is because if you put 87 octane, which is the low grade fuel, the engine starts to detonate. And what that means is that the explosions happen at the incorrect time. So what that does is that it makes the engine run like gas. It doesn't make horsepower. It actually is very harmful for the engine when it detonates. And when you take this a step further and you start adding a forced induction, a system of forced induction, whether it be a turbo, a supercharger, nitrous, like that adds a lot of heat to the equation, and it requires you to use higher grade fuel. And typically that's when you introduce, race gas, when you introduce E85, also known as ethanol, or you introduce even methanol for the high horsepower racers out there. You are required to raise the level of quality of the fuel that you're putting in order to increase the output, the horsepower that this engine can provide for you. And so adding regular exercise to your routine so that your body can perform at its best levels is kind of like the example that I just gave you of why a high performance engine needs high grade fuel in order to make high horsepower. Like, they just go hand in hand. You can't make a lot of horsepower with low grade fuel, just like you're not going to be able to expect to achieve great things within your life with a shitty ass body. With like, you're not going to be able to sustain high levels of energy when you're constantly overweight, when you're constantly like not performing, not feeling, not vibing at the best that you can be. It's just doesn't work out. And when I was younger, I was so against working out. And I want to tell you a quick story because I would make every excuse in the book why working out wasn't for me. Like, anything and everything, I would make an excuse, especially because I rode, and I still ride to this day, of course. I will always ride, God willing. But I would always say, oh man, I stun ride. I ride for long periods of time. I sweat, and I do sweat a lot. My helmet's dripping, soaking wet. My shirts are soaking wet. And it is like an exercise, but it's riding. And that is not a true strength training exercise. A strength training exercise is you're going to go and you're going to lift weights, you're going to build muscle so that you could carry these machines, which most of these machines weigh 2, sometimes 3 times what we weigh. So building muscle is fucking important to being able to manhandle that machine that you're on. And it took me a while to realize this. And it also incorporates like losing fat. Like, if you want to lose some fat, if you want to lose some of the holiday weight, if you want to go faster, here's some free horsepower for you. Do some weight. Like, it goes hand in hand. Building muscle, losing fat, feeling better, having a well-optimized machine working in your favor. It all comes as a result of fucking doing some exercise, man. And here's another thing that I didn't even connect for a long time. Like, I thought that exercise was all about the looks. Like, I remember when I would make every excuse in the book why I wasn't exercising, and I would always like kind of like smile and giggle when I see people looking at themselves in the mirror, and And I was like, oh, look at these cocky people. Look at themselves checking themselves out. And I didn't realize, I didn't close the loop. I didn't like connect the dots on how much more benefits it provides when you exercise. It's not only about the physical appearance. Like there's so many other benefits that come as a result of freaking working out. Like for one, your mindset becomes strong as fuck. The reason why it becomes strong is because there's usually 9 times out of 10 you never want to go to the gym. And I'll say this openly. I've been working out consistently for multiple years now, and hardly ever is there a time when I'm like, yeah, let's go to the gym. I can't wait to go to the gym. But in contrary, every time that I leave the gym, I'm always like, man, I'm so fucking glad I did it. I'm so glad I pushed myself. And so what that does is that builds the mental toughness for you to show up for yourself. That helps you build the discipline. That helps you feel empowered. That freaking increases your confidence because you're freaking doing things that you said you were going to do. And over the long period of time, you start feeling so much better as a result of it. Like your self-belief increases. Like you start building this internal power within yourself when you start exercising. And the fucking physical appearance is just the smallest part about it. It really is. Like, let me take a sip of water here for a second. Excuse me. Exercise. Exercise is one of those things that if you change nothing else in your routine and you add a consistent workout to your daily rituals, to your daily routine, to your daily actions, and you add one workout every day for at least a quarter of the year, 3 months, 90 days, however you want to do it, and you only add an exercise, everything about that will start improving your life. So many other levels around your life will improve, will level up because of the fact that you did the exercise. And that took me so long to connect the dots. Like I didn't realize it because I was never consistent with it. I never like did it for long periods of time. Because here's the thing that no one will tell you. Like when you first start exercising, you actually feel worse before you start feeling better. When you start exercising, you're going to feel sore before you start building muscle. Like you're going to feel tired before you start getting more energy. It's just part of the process. And the problem is, including myself, that I would quit before I would get over that hump because it doesn't go like this. It goes down and it comes up. And that is the key to pushing through that mental barrier. And that's why it's so important to do the exercise, because it helps you build that mental toughness, helps you thrive, confidence is up, you're feeling on fire. Like it really is the game changer here. And so on the last episode, we talked about the mind and how the mind is the foundation to it all. It really is, because it all starts right here. Everything out there in this world that you see that was created, it all started in someone's mind. And so on this episode, we're going to be talking about the body. And those two go hand in hand with one another and are so important because the mind controls the body and the body is the mind is part of the body. Those two go hand in hand. Those are two important ones. And which is why the second element in the 5 to Thrive framework of becoming a wide open warrior requires you to fucking work on your body, to work out, to push yourself, to fucking sweat, to challenge yourself, to do physical activities that are challenging for you, to get the heart pumping, to build this mental fucking strength inside of you so that you could fucking say, whatever comes at me, I'm gonna fucking attack it. Like, and I know that might sound like all hype and whatever to you, but when you actually go through this process and you show up consistently and you set up the discipline and you pass that hurdle of feeling less and less energy and feeling sore and tired, and you pass that hurdle and you start achieving to where it brings more energy into your life. Because what happens is when you start requiring more energy, your body starts producing more energy, and you start feeling on fire, you start feeling confident, and people, you walk into a room and people notice that, my friends, that's when so many more areas of your life start improving because of this. Like it really is a game changer, and which is why I'm preaching it. Like think about it. When you when you go use a car, and maybe just a regular car is not a good example, but when you go use a high performance car, when you go use your motorcycle, when you go use something that makes horsepower, you typically need to warm it up. Like if you just go and rip it when it's cold, like you're probably gonna break something. Like you need to warm up the engine, you need to warm up many scenarios, the transmission too, because if not, it breaks. Like well, your body is very similar, and how exercise is literally like how warming yourself up, priming yourself up. We talked about in the last episode, priming yourself so that you could create the success that you want for yourself. Like add nothing else to your routine except an exercise routine consistently over a quarter, and you'll come back and you're gonna be like, man, I feel better. I lost weight. I feel more muscular. I feel like I'm on fire. I feel like, man, I'm disciplined. I feel like whatever comes my way, I'm just like, I can handle it. Like it really starts raising the bar of what you can accomplish because you start showing up for yourself daily and you start building those wins. You start stacking them up. When you stack them up over a long period of time, that creates this massive confidence within you. It really does. And the reason why I stopped is because who the fuck doesn't want to be above average? Like, if you're watching this, I'm probably 100% sure that that's not you. Like, typically, the people that are into what I'm into and the people that I'm trying to help, like, we're all above achieving extraordinary results. Like, fuck being average. Like, literally, the word extraordinary has it built into it. Like if you pull the extra from the word extraordinary, you're left with just ordinary. So like you got to be willing to put in the extra work. You got to be willing to put in the extra time, the extra effort. You got to be willing to work on yourself, to work on your body, to work on your mind so that you can become the best version of yourself. That's how you beat the competition. That's how you become above average. That's how you become extraordinary. And here's a fun fact for you. And I couldn't believe this actually when I looked it up and I Googled it. Um, and did you know that there are less people in this world that have abs than they are millionaires? Like, that's a fucking crazy fact that I found on Google. And I couldn't believe it. And when I started thinking about it, though, I was like, man, I can see the connection because it's fucking difficult to build a rock solid six pack. Like it really is. I've been working out consistently and abs are made in the kitchen. I'll tell you that. You have to fucking work out. You have to be disciplined. You have to do all that. But if your eating habits are not right, man, those abs aren't going to come. And so I know the discipline you have to have, the hard work you got to put in to create abs. And so to learn that there are less people in this world that have abs than they are millionaires is fucking crazy. Like it's hard enough to even make a million or become a millionaire. And the mission that I'm here to serve and to help as many other more sport enthusiasts out there level up their game so that you guys can become millionaires too, so that we can become millionaires, so that we can level up, so that we can change our generation. But it all starts with the foundational elements. With working on your mind, with working on your body. In the next episode, we're going to be working on, we're going to be talking about our spirit. And then the following one, we're going to be talking about the business. And the following one, we're going to be talking about our passions, what makes us fucking feel on fire. But right now, we're talking about the body. The body is this engine, this vehicle that takes us through life. And so wouldn't you want to fucking be riding on something that has a lot of horsepower, that has power, that doesn't give you issues, that doesn't give you problems, versus riding in some shit that it's constantly running on 6 cylinders versus 8, that like is breaking down on you, that is just unreliable? Like, no, man. Like, you want to have something that performs well, that you can count on, that makes you feel good, and it makes you look good too, because that shit does help your confidence with it. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you wake up and like you're like, fuck yeah, man, I built that body. Like, because you know the hard work that it goes into fucking doing that shit, and that's why it helps you build your mental toughness. It really does. And if you're a racer, you want a better reaction time? Well, here's the secret, my friend. Work out. Working out helps you with those split decisions, and it could be the difference whether you get that win or that loss. Like, man, whether you're a racer, whether you're drifting, whether you're riding your motorcycle, whatever the fuck you're doing, it can be the difference between getting that win or that loss, or between landing or riding out that trick or whatever you're doing, and between crashing against the wall or crashing against the floor. It really does. And it really improves your blood flow to the brain. It sharpens your reflexes and it helps your decision making skills. So if you want better reaction times, work out. Don't fucking crash. Being able to ride it out, sharpen yourself up. Because a fitter you is a faster you. If you want more stamina and endurance, well, you guessed it, work out. When you see like racing, when all this racing that we do, excuse me, all this racing that we do isn't just about our machines. It does test our machines, but it also tests our body. Like when you're racing, when you're riding, when you're drifting, when you're fucking going fast, whatever you're doing, you're pulling some G's. Like your body is experiencing some G's. And so the concentration that it requires and the endurance on your body that it requires is demanding. Like it really is. So building that stamina and that endurance is fucking critical, and which is why you want to work out. Like it really is. It helps you build the endurance and it helps you remain sharp so that you can push the fucking limits with the things that we love to do. It really does help us. You want to prevent injuries? You guessed it. Work out. The stronger we are, the more flexible we are, the less prone we are to injuries, my friends. Like, and I'm talking about both on and off the racetrack. Like, and I'm not just talking about big accidents, because big accidents are really game changers. I'm talking about little injuries too. Like, you need to take those in hand, because a little injury will put you out. It really will. And so when you're strong, when you're healthy, when you're lean, like when you build muscle, you build this strength within you to fucking to overpower these machines that we love so much. It's so important also to build the flexibility within yourself and to do stretching into your exercise routine, because this is where the game changer becomes. Because as you build more fucking muscle, your body becomes tense and becomes tight, and it's important for you to stay flexible. Like maybe you have a race car with a crash cage or a whole roll cage in it. You know, if you ever got in one, it's freaking challenging. You don't want to be one of these fat guys that are struggling to get in and out. You want to be in shape. You want to be fit. You want to be able to go hop in and out when it can. What happens if there's a fire and you're struggling to get out? No, my friend. Same thing if you're riding a motorcycle. You want to be able to throw that leg over the motorcycle quickly, flexible. You want to be, if you're doing a trick on a wheelie, you're able to pull through the handlebars. Flexibility is key to doing that. It really is. It's the game changer for you. And so what about, this one will catch a couple of you guys, what about free horsepower? And I kind of mentioned it up top, but if you want to shed some weight off your race car, if you want some free horsepower, if you want to shed some weight off your motorcycle, and those are even more critical than the race cars because they're way, way less, well, fucking work out. Because every ounce matters in racing. It really does. Both in the car and in the driver. And most people don't. They spend all their money and all their finances and all their savings and all their things into the machine, and they don't realize that the machine that drives the machine is more important, and they don't fucking fuel their body. They don't fuel their mind. They forget that in order for us to have a well operating machine, we need to work on it. We need to feed it this high fuel. We need to feed it exercise. Regular exercise will give you an optimum body weight. It really will. And if you're racing motorcycles, even more critical, man. I've seen so many guys like strip their bikes down because they're after like losing every ounce they can. Well, if you want to be fit, if you want to have an ideal body weight, well, working out will help you get those free horsepowers. It really will. It gives you and your machine the best chance possible to succeed, so you can bring home that fucking win, bro. It boils down to it. It's science, and I wish more people understood. And I can understand, and I could see why people don't, because it took me so long to realize the benefits of actually working out and how it correlated into your freaking routine, into your mind, into your body, into how you perform, into how much money you make, into how good you do at your job. They're all correlated. It really is. If you want better sleep, if you want to feel rested, if you want to feel less tense, work out, my friend. I hope you're picking up on the freaking trend right here that we have going on. and how working out really helps you like better up like so many areas of your life. Like it really does, because when you work out, you're releasing stress. You're pumping iron. Like you're literally, you could have a bad day and you go to the gym and you burn that out. You come out of there feeling like, man, I needed that. You feel like you come out feeling like you remove some weight off of your shoulders. And when you work out, you obviously get tired. You push your body. You demand strength from your muscles. So sleep becomes very important to the routine. It really does, and it helps regulate your body's internal clock so that you could sleep better as a result of that. And and I'm pausing here because I'm trying to like look for the good example. But if when you have a big event coming up, when you have a race, when you have a group ride, when you have something coming up the next day, let's say tomorrow, and you could be like on 2 hours of sleep and you'll freaking wake up because you're excited, because you want this. Now, why is it that like we can't have those same feelings like when it goes to work or when it goes to like to go do regular stuff? Like I haven't figured that out yet. But have you ever noticed that the day before a race or the day before the event or the day before a big group ride or whatever it is you have going on, it's always some issue, some trouble to go to sleep? Like your mind is racing. And so exercising helps your body decompress. It helps release those tensions. It helps release that anxiety that you build up, that excitement for what's coming up. And it helps you get that good night's sleep, because getting that good night's sleep is going to be critical for you to be on point, for you to have the concentration up, for you to have your focus locked in. Because if you don't have all that shit going on, you're going to have higher probabilities of crashing, of wrecking, of not being on point. Like, and fuck that. We're here to perform at the best we can be. So you want to make sure you get that exercise in. It really is like exercise is one of those activities that you do in your life that as a result, everything in your life gets better because of it. Like, it's not only about the physical gains, it's about the mental gains, it's about the discipline that you build, it's about the routines that you establish, it's about the commitments that you hold for yourself, it's about the belief that you build within yourself, it's about the mental toughness that you build and how you evolve as a whole person. I'm saying it again, I said it once and I'll say it again. You add exercise, only exercise, to your routine, and you do it consistently for at least a quarter, 3 months, 90 days, and everything else in your life will become better because of it. And so all my motorsport enthusiasts out there, my friends that you're watching here, I want to remind you that the track, the racetrack, the lots, wherever you practice, like those are our battlefields. Like that's where we go and release and connect with our machines. Like those are our battlefields. But getting in that workout and going to the gym or wherever you want to go get your workout on, that's where our training ground starts. And it's so important to do that and to incorporate that into your routine. And embracing that exercise is what I want you to do. I want you to have a well-oiled, high-performing machine, like so that you can fucking go achieve whatever the fuck it is that you want in this life, so that you can perform good, so you can feel good, so that you can like show up with confidence, so that you can have self-belief, so that your confidence could be rock solid. Like it really gives you so much more benefits than the physical aspect of things, and it just helps you level up your game. It helps you be more on point. And it gives you the fucking edge that we need on this crazy sports that we all love. These extreme sports. We push the limits consistently. And being on point is a fucking must. It really is. So I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the freaking ground, my friends. And I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts out there, those who want to improve the situation. Let's break free from all this bad shit that's been holding us back. And let's prove to the world that they wish they were like fucking us, man. That's what this is all about. Those of you who made it to the end of the episode, man, you got yourself a fucking win. I appreciate you for investing your valuable time into the Live Wide Open podcast. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open. And helping others improve is the mission that God has tasked me with. It's the mission that we're on. We are driven individuals working towards becoming the best we can be. And we're here to break the freaking stereotype that has been casted upon us. Join me on this journey where we help as many motorsport enthusiasts out there create the best lives that we can imagine. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Wide Open Randy. And if you had any type of connection to this content that you just consumed, man, it'd mean the world to me if you shared it with a friend, or if you also went ahead and posted on your stories this episode, because those are the type of moves that really helps us spread the message. My friends, I'll catch you on the next episode. Till then, make sure that you live life wide open. Peace.